Hey everyone, Gill here, breaking down Daniil Medvedev's semifinal victory over Novak Djokovic at Cincinnati earlier tonight. Boy, oh boy. This kind of match is why no one will ever be able to predict tennis perfectly 100% of the time. And it's not because it was impossible to pick Medvedev, because that's not true. Medvedev is on an absolute tear. He's through to his second Masters 1000 final in as many weeks. He has been the most consistent hardcourt player on tour outside of maybe only to Novak Djokovic in the last 2 years. He's unbelievable. But the way he won this match, tactically and strategically, was nothing short of fascinating. Daniil Medvedev played in a way that I have never seen him play. And when I've seen him try to play this way, it has never worked. But it worked against Novak Djokovic. Let's go chronological. In the first set, I was looking out for a couple things. One, Daniil Medvedev, I feel like sometimes he hasn't shown up in the biggest matches. And immediately I thought it was clear, okay, he's here to play. He's here to play against Novak Djokovic. But at 2-3, Medvedev serving, Djokovic plays an unbelievable return game and gets the break. I mean, on break point, Djokovic made a return that no one would have made. Daniil Medvedev hit 3-4 great ground strokes in the rally. Djokovic defended, and then he finished with a backhand down the line. I believe it was textbook Novak Djokovic. He gets the break. And he's playing really good tennis. I'd say he's playing more aggressive. He's playing more aggressive than usual against Medvedev when it comes to changing direction. So they're not getting into these just laboring cross-court rallies. And I felt like Djokovic was looking to run around his backhand a little bit more, but, looking to change it up. Use the drop shot, change direction, and especially, this is a big one, go to the net. Something that I've never heard a commentator talk about for some reason. One of Medvedev's biggest issues is he does not pass people at the net. He doesn't have the tools. More on that later. So Djokovic, at one point, 13 of 15 at the net. I think just in the first set, 13 of 15 at the net. Instead of hanging back and playing these long, exhausting rallies, Djokovic is doing a little bit more to push the pace. One thing Medvedev did well in the first set was he served pretty well. First serves, got a lot of free points. So I kind of noticed, okay, Djokovic isn't really on the first serve, but it didn't matter. Why? Because Medvedev could not defend his second serve one iota. At one point, it flashed on to my screen, 27% second serve points won for Medvedev. So first serve, a lot of free points, didn't matter. Second serve was garbage, which is another weakness of Medvedev's game. Now, Djokovic got that break. He served it out. I said, okay, well, I think Medvedev played a pretty good set. Too good from Novak Djokovic. Too good from the world number one. And in the beginning of the second set, more of the same. Djokovic was putting tons of pressure on Medvedev, and Medvedev looked like he was breaking down mentally and physically. And he's been known to, in his losses, he's been known to sometimes panic in a way where he's no longer able to maintain his level and consistent game because he gets too impatient, the errors come, and all of a sudden it's a runaway train in favor of his opponent. And it kind of looked like that was happening. One of the first things he did, well, first I'll say this, Djokovic had pressure on so many of Medvedev's service games early in the second set, and Medvedev he kept hitting aces. He kept hitting service winners. Clutch serving. And then, something that I saw a little bit in the first set, continued to the second set, Medvedev was just trying to do more on his forehand than he normally tries to do. Just playing a bit more aggressive. And And I think Djokovic got a little bit weary, a little bit annoyed that Medvedev kept pulling out these service games and just basically hitting aces and hitting service winners. And at 30 all, there were 2 games in a row where Djokovic would have an opening and Medvedev would simply swat them away with his serve. And I think it rattled Djokovic a little bit. And Medvedev played a nice return game. I'm going off memory. Was it 3 all? Maybe it was no. Yeah. No, it was 3-4 Djokovic serving. Medvedev plays a nice return game. And then he breaks Novak. Djokovic made a few errors in that game as well. From that point on, and it might have been a service game before that, Medvedev scraps the second serve, stops hitting the second serve, and gets into this incredible service rhythm. He's not missing first serves. When he is missing first serves, he's hitting his second serves an average of, about 110 to 120 miles per hour, in that range. And he, I believe, holds at love to close the second set. Djokovic can't touch this guy's serve. And it really looked like Novak was going to run away with that second set, because it looked like the break was coming early in that set and the Medvedev serve comes through. What Medvedev started doing for the entire third set is continuing to scrap his second serve, play with 2 first serves. And he wasn't really blinking. He hit some double faults, but not too many. And Djokovic couldn't read the serve. And the world-class return of Novak Djokovic just didn't look very world-class at this point. Medvedev, meanwhile, was hitting forehands like I've never seen him hit forehands. He was playing on a level of aggression from that wing. I think his backhand was pretty normal, but he was going for more on his forehand, where the only time I've seen Medvedev go for this much on his forehand, he's been spraying errors, and he's basically giving up in the match. But at this point, he's being incredibly aggressive with his forehand, and it's going in the court, and he's hitting 2 first serves. Djokovic tries coming to the net. It had been working for him all match. All of a sudden, Medvedev is dipping it at Djokovic's feet with his topspin forehand and passing Novak Djokovic. It's completely out of nowhere. He's playing out of his mind. He's redlining with his serve. He's hitting his forehand incredibly. Djokovic played his worst game of the match at early in the third set, and Medvedev gets the early break. And throughout the rest of the first set, throughout the rest of the third set, he simply could not return well enough to have any chance at Daniil Medvedev. And then Medvedev didn't even have to serve it out because he broke Djokovic at 3-5, and that was it. Medvedev got into his own. I don't think he could do it again. I don't think he knows how he did that. He admitted after the match, I was tired. I didn't know what to do, so I just went for it. It was a great. I'd like to rewatch it. After the match, I had to eat dinner, so I'm a little bit fuzzier than I would like to be right now on all of the details. But essentially, there's Medvedev had a plan B in this match, and I've criticized him for not having a plan B. I've criticized him for panicking. He didn't panic. I've criticized him for not being able to create with his forehand. He created with his forehand in this match. He had an issue with his second serve. He solved it. He had an issue with his second serve return. And he actually started mixing up his return positions. He got the break in the second set by moving up and actually taking Novak's kick serve out wide on the rise, hitting a down-the-line backhand winner. He showed more variety. He showed the ability to adapt instead of shrinking and laying down. He did not lay down. I think that he implemented a game plan that could have failed very easily and could have gotten ugly. But what do we say? Against Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic, try something. Try it. Because it's probably going to take something extraordinary and spectacular to beat these guys. And on Saturday, Djokovic came out looking pretty good. In the first set, really good. In the second set, really good in the beginning. Got a little bit rattled, I think, from Medvedev's serving. And Medvedev, what did he do? He came up with something spectacular. Looking forward to the final. Fan Medvedev, you can expect to hear from me on Monday. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.